How's the ride so far?
Well, it's good. Just about 42 minutes of just under threshold work and then a 30-minute tempo. So went well. Body feels fine. Should be ready for altitude 2 days from now.
Where are you going?
Cedar City. Actually, Bryan Head is where we're gonna stay, which is like a ski area. So it's high, really high up, 9,000 feet. Gotta eat my 10 perfect aminos.
10?
Yep.
Perfect aminos and some cookies.
Yeah. That water spring is so good. See how much faster I was going that way than this way?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Is it because it's uphill?
Mostly from the headwind.
Oh.
So I just did a 3.5 hour ride. That was my second hard ride since my last race, and pretty solid. Just it was like the 7.2K stretch, one-way reps. So when I was going the tailwind direction, it was like a little under 10 minutes. Of the headwind, it was about 11, and did them on 15-minute send off. So just under threshold. So I was about 3:35 average for those, which is what I would expect. So that's a good sign because everything's going well in training. Body feels good, and I think I'll be ready to come back and have a good race in Dallas. So I've had a couple good runs as well. Gonna have a run workout today, but did a run workout Friday that went well. A few good swims, and everything seems to be on track. So training's been good. And I was a little worried after Collins Cup that maybe, I was overtrained or something, but I was able to just jump right back into it, no problem. So I don't think that was the issue.
Okay. So going back to Collins Cup, before you learned about the matchups, did you have any clues about who you were going to be matched with?
We didn't know who we were going to be matched with. So I saw Matt Hansen out running while I was biking, and I just sort of stopped and chatted with him for a minute. And he said that he thinks it's going to be me, him, and Gustav. So I don't know how he knew or guessed, but he was right. So I didn't know, though. I had no idea. But once the matchup started rolling through, and then the last two were kind of still up for grabs, and the three of us were left, I figured he'd be right, and then we were the second last match. So I was actually really happy with the matchup. I really wanted to race Gustav, see where I'm at, sort of give that benchmark, and you can't really see where you are compared to the best if you're not racing them. So I was happy with that.
And how were you feeling in the days leading up to the race?
I was feeling super excited. It was like really, it's a pretty crazy environment when you're like always surrounded by everyone in the race and everyone's talking about the race, and like even when you're getting your food, like because it's this sort of cafeteria style place where you get your food in the hotel. All the athletes are there, so like 3 times a day you're seeing everyone, and it was really fun and exciting, but at the same time it's not exactly the most relaxing way to lead into a race. And when you're coming off 6-hour time change, and then you're trying to get adjusted, and then for the 2 or 3 days before the race there's like press conference and pre-race meeting and all those things that kind of get the nerves going. It was definitely a little bit tough to recover. I don't think I slept more than about 6 hours any of the nights I was there for 5 nights, so that wasn't ideal. And I think that kind of just got to me. Like I never adjusted to the time zone. I didn't do the things that you need to do to adjust to a time zone properly, like going outside in the morning and having your body exposed to the natural light and stuff like that. I wasn't really doing that, so I was just too focused on the race, and unfortunately not focused enough on getting into a good routine. And the day of the race, I was literally like my eyes were closing right before I was supposed to go to the race. All right, so Brooks wanted to join the video because he was watching Collins Cup too. Like I said, I was super tired in this before the race, but usually being like sleepy and not sleeping well isn't something that affects me in a race. I hardly ever sleep well, at least the night before the race, so nothing unusual there, I thought. But had a good swim start, got right in the group, right on Gustav's feet, and then when a tiny gap opened up about 1,000 meters in, or halfway, I put in a surge to like close the gap, which normally would be no problem, and I just didn't have, like, I was just not able to push, not able to increase my pace. The gap started increasing a bit more. Matt went around me, closed the gap really quickly, tried to get on his feet, couldn't get on his feet. So they put a minute and 20 or a minute and 25 into me in the last 1,000 meters, which is like really slow. Like, I probably swam the slowest last 1,000 meters of anyone in the race. So obviously something was a bit off there. My stroke felt good and I felt pretty strong. In terms of like efficiency, I just didn't have any energy. So onto the bike, it was kind of a similar thing. Like, I pushed really well for the first half. I was at, not really well, but pretty well. I was kind of over 300 watts for the first half, and then I just struggled in the second half. Kind of lost a lot of time. Like, I kept about the same gap to Matt in the first half, and then the second half he put like another 2.5 minutes into me or so. So, you know, my power was dropping. Everything was kind of falling apart. Buddy, you're going to rip my skin off my leg. Everything was kind of falling apart on the bike. And I was trying to stay in it, but even my back was like hurting in the last 20K. The wind also switched and like became a really strong headwind all of a sudden. So that last 20K was really tough. But got off the bike, still not like totally out of it, only 4 minutes behind Matt. I was only 4 minutes behind, buddy. I was only 4 minutes behind, but same thing on the run. Like, I tried to push and just had no, like, almost right away, I just had no kind of energy. So I was a little just like dejected during the run. Like, once I saw that Matt was way more than 6 minutes ahead, I kind of shut it down because I thought, obviously this isn't my day and I'm not going to get any points for the team, unfortunately. So, well, other than the one that you get for racing. So yeah, it was pretty tough, especially when you have a team event and you're not able to help your team. But just, you know, when you have a really bad day, it sort of sparks the ideas in your head of like, okay, something needs to change in order to fix that. Like, whether it was a one-time thing and let's say I had gotten sick or something after the race, which didn't happen, then that would have been an easy explanation. But upon review later, it kind of became obvious. Like, I literally slept probably 5 to 6 hours max for the entire race week, buddy. All race week. That's like a quarter as much as you sleep. And so I was just tired, and I'm mentally tired from just like all the pre-race stuff. And these are things I can fix in race week. I can kind of stay in a more regular environment, like not be totally surrounded by all the race stuff all the time. And also just in my general life, I can have better sleep habits, and something that I've been already implementing and doing things like going outside right away in the morning, exposing yourself to some light, helping your circadian rhythm a little bit better, and then just being a lot better about having no screens and like really low light in the evenings. Already I've been sleeping better than usual. So I think having a really bad day can also result in good things where you make changes that can make you better in the future. So in a sense, I'm glad I had a bad day because I wasn't ready. I didn't prepare as well as I could, and now I know what to do to be better in the next one. And like I said, training's been going well since then. So I'm not worried for Dallas because I already know, oh, yummy. I already know I'm going to be back stronger, and I'm going to go into that race without as much, you know, crazy focus on the race. Like, I just need to kind of keep it normal like any other race and stay with friends. And my dad's going to be doing Dallas as well, so we'll just kind of hang out and keep it a little bit more relaxed. So I should get to the start line with a lot more energy and, you know, show what I know I'm capable of, which hasn't happened in the last 2 races. So still fit, I'm still ready. I'm going to altitude for a couple weeks starting soon, and that'll get me that little boost that I felt before Edmonton, which I wasn't able to use, unfortunately. But I think it'll work out really well for Dallas.
You're changing in your training or anything like that you're focusing on?
Yeah, I think for, you know, the focus into Dallas, really nothing needs to change. Like, my fitness in my workouts at least has been really, really good. And in the past, when I've had like low testosterone, which has happened when I've like overtrained and under recovered, it shows in my training. Like, it becomes really obvious. I have no more high end power. on the bike. I don't have the ability to push anything close to threshold. But right now that's not happening. I have really strong workouts across all three sports. So nothing really needs to change so much for Dallas. I am going to altitude, so I'm going to have to adjust to that, not push too hard the first few days. But also Dallas is going to be really hot, so hopefully I get some hot weather in Cedar City, which we should, to get ready for the heat. Like it should be, it's going to be over 30 degrees probably during the race, so I'll have to be ready for that. Right, Brooks? Yeah, it's going to be over 30 degrees during the race most likely, and it'll be humid, so I'm going to have to be ready for that. The altitude seems to help me get ready for heat for some reason. When I come down, I seem to be pretty good with the heat, but also doing some hot workouts and maybe even a little bit of hot tub or sauna if we have access will be, a good benefit. But Dallas is also a super flat race, not technical, so we're going to try to just train that relentless aero position in the bike training. And then the run, kind of same thing, pretty flat. So trying to get specific in the last week or two before the race. But other than that, training is going to have to be pretty much the same because it's been working. I just need to kind of show up to the race ready to go so I could show it.
Oh.
Okay.
Is it a video or?
Yeah, 9 to go. Very hot.
You're gonna head out now.
Okay.
Put your water on the porch.
Yeah, that's great. All right, see you. Thanks.
Have a good rest of your run.